So what happens next? That the story continues as, and we would all try to do it in our heads, and all arrive at different results and sneer at one another. Sneer as in to look angrily, right, mockingly. And in the general row, the original number would be forgotten, and Uncle Podger would have to measure it again. So when he would be trying to do the maths in his own head, how much 31 and 3/8 of an inches would be. So when he would fail at it, everybody else around him would try to do the calculations in their heads, and everybody else would arrive at a different answer, and they would all look at each other angrily and in a mocking way. That is, I was correct and you are wrong, right? And in the general rule, as in this particular sort of fighting, right? To have a row, as in to have a bit of a fight, to have a bit of an argument. So in this particular fight and argument, the original number would have been forgotten, right? And Uncle Podger would have to remeasure again the entire thing. He would use a bit of string this time, and at the critical moment when the old fool was leaning over the chair at an angle of 45 and trying to reach a point 3 inches beyond what was possible for him to reach, the string would slip and down he would slide onto the piano, a really fine musical effect being produced by the suddenness with which his head and body struck all the notes at the same time. So then the next time he would use a piece of string in order to measure, and he would be reaching. He's all standing on a chair, on a step ladder, on a chair, and he's using a string to reach to measure something. So he's trying to reach something which is 3 inches beyond his maximum capability. The chair is already tilted at 45 degrees. Any more and he would fall. So he would try to reach 3 inches beyond that, and because of that the chair falls, and he would fall down on the piano below. And the writer calls him a old fool, and that he makes a funny reference of how when he falls on the piano, a very fine, a very good musical effect is produced when his head and his body, everything goes bam on the piano keys, right? And Aunt Maria would say that he would not allow the children to stand around and hear such language. And when he would be cursing and getting angry at himself, at everybody, because he has fallen, then Aunt Maria would say that I do not want the children around such language. I do not want the children to hear such swearing, such dirty words. At last, Uncle Podger would get the spot fixed again, and put the spot of the nail on it with his left hand, and take the hammer in his right hand. And with the first blow, he would smash his thumb and drop the hammer with a yell on somebody's toes. And at the end of everything, after all this, he will again try to get up on the chair, and he will spot the where he has marked for the nail to go in. He would, with his left hand, he will take the nail, and with his right hand he would strike the hammer on the. He will try to strike the hammer on the nail, and instead he would miss, and he would crush his left thumb. And with the yell he will drop with the yell of pain, because it's very painful, right? So in that pain he will drop the hammer on somebody else's toes who's standing below. Aunt Maria would mildly observe that next time Uncle Podger was given to hammer a nail into the wall, she'd hoped he'd let her know in time, so that she could make arrangements to go and spend a week with her mother while it was being done. So Aunt Maria would mildly observe that in a very slight manner. She would state that the next time Uncle Podger is about to hammer a nail into the wall, it's better if I hope that I, as in Maria, Aunt Maria hopes that Uncle Podger lets her know in advance, so that she can go and spend a week with her mother, so while everything is being done. Oh, you woman, you make such a fuss over everything, Uncle Podger would reply, picking himself up. Why, I like doing a little job of this sort. sort. So then he would not get angry, but he would criticize Aunt Maria as well, and he would say, "Oh, you women, you make such a fuss, you make such a big thing out of everything." And he would reply that he likes to do such small things in the house himself. And then he would have another try, and at the second blow, the nail would go clean through the plaster and half the hammer after it. And Uncle Podger is precipitated against the wall. Precipitated as in suddenly forced into a particular state of condition, right? Against the wall with force nearly sufficient to flatten his nose. And then he would again try to, after criticizing Aunt Maria, he would again try to put the nail in the wall. So he would do, and this time he would do it with such a force that the entire nail would go into the plaster, half of the hammer, and he himself would be precipitated, forced onto the wall, which would flatten his nose. He would just smacked up towards the wall. Then he would find the rule and the string again, and a new hole was made. And then, because the plaster has been broken while putting the nail, so he would find another spot, another hole will be made with the help of the rule and the string. And about midnight, the picture would be up, very crooked and insecure, the wall for yards round, looking as if it had been smoothed down with a rake, and everybody had beat and wretched except Uncle Podger. And at about midnight, right? So about the entire day has been wasted, and half of the night has been wasted, and then the picture would be up at last, but it would be a little crooked, it would be a little misaligned and insecure, right? Insecure as in it's, the point on which it is hanging is not absolutely secure. Anytime it can fall, and the wall everywhere around the room, it would look that somebody has taken a rake to it, as in it has scratches and holes everywhere around the wall, and everybody else has a headache now, and if they feel wretched as in they feel miserable, and except for Uncle Podger, who would be feeling very proud. "There you are," he would say, stepping heavily off the chair onto the charwoman's corns. Charwoman's corns, corns over here means a small area of hard skin on the toe, right? So it's the hard skin on your toe, and everybody's got it. That's called corn. That's not the corn which you eat. This is another corn over here it's talking about. The spelling is the same, but the meaning is different. And surveying the mess he had made with evident pride. Why some people would have had a man in to do a little thing like that. And then after this very bad job of a crooked picture on an insecure post, he would say, "There you are, there it is." And while doing so, he would step on the charwoman's toes, on the hard skin of the charwoman's toes, which is called the corns. And well, he'll be surveying the mess, all the problem that he's created, and he would be looking at the picture and the wall, all the all not destroyed, but the wall which he has made so many holes in it. He would look at the entire wall and the crooked picture, and he will feel very proud, and he will say, "Why some people would have had a man in, as in some people would hire another person, a professional, to hang a picture for such a small little thing, to do such a thing." So this completes your story, class, and I'll be sending the assignment tomorrow. Go through the videos properly. If you have any doubts, let me know. I'll be sending you the picture of the story as well from the book, so that it is easy for you guys to understand. Thank you, class.